Hi, my name is Alexandra Thompson. It's so nice to see you and meet you. We just wanted to give you the opportunity to have a little glimpse into who we are as a counseling center that is a nonprofit that partners with local churches to make mental health accessible to anyone and everyone in the community, regardless of income. That's what we do. That's who we are. But we're also all professional licensed therapists, licensed in the state of Georgia. And we absolutely love what we do. We enjoy what we do. We love sitting across from really incredibly brave, powerful people like yourself. So we just wanted to give ourselves an opportunity to meet you, introduce who we are so that you feel a little bit more comfortable when you enter our doors.
I like to work with couples a lot of times who are dealing with communication issues or conflict, and I really enjoy working with individuals who are processing through grief or trauma or who are kind of going through a life transition, and really like to incorporate psychology and like mood regulation with also like spirituality and kind of the client's values.
I love working with women of color. Well, I got into the field ultimately just to be a representation. Black women can love the Lord and seek therapy at the same time, and that's okay because there is a stigma of mental health care in the Black community, and there is what I call like a mantle of strength that kind of gets passed down through generations. And so when we are faced with situations where we don't feel strong, there isn't really a place of solace or safety that you can go to. I love being able to give them a place to kind of wrestle through the spiritual side and the cultural aspects of things that they're experiencing in life.
I love working with anyone struggling through infertility or infertility trauma, anyone who's going through adoption or foster care and struggling in any way with those two things, and anything that has to do with postpartum depression, postpartum trauma, birth loss, anything like that.
Mi nombre es Andrea y soy una consejera. I love working with adolescents, women of all ages, and the Spanish-speaking population. I really enjoy working with the Spanish-speaking population. I know that there's a really big stigma when it comes to mental health for this population. Culturally, I can relate, and being able to speak Spanish in session with my clients is really powerful for them. There are not that many Spanish-speaking therapists, so filling that need is so important to me.
My name is Robert Vore, and I'm an LPC, a licensed professional counselor in the state of Georgia. I primarily work with adolescents and young adults, so kind of 12 to 30 is usually what I say. I also work with adults over that age range, but that's kind of the age range that I work with primarily. I use a lot of client-centered techniques, some emotion-focused things, polyvagal theory I work with a lot in terms of emotional regulation and things like that. Polyvagal is a way of understanding our nervous system and the adjustments that it's making on kind of a moment-to-moment basis, where we're moving from a safe and social kind of way of interacting with ourselves and our surrounding to a fight-or-flight type of stance or a freeze kind of stance, right? And so the idea that we're always somewhere on that ladder is typically how we demonstrate that, being able to grow what we call our autonomic flexibility. So not that we never become dysregulated, we never get into fight or flight, but that when we find ourselves in those spaces, that we understand that, we know how to kind of work and steer a little bit and find our way back to feeling safe, and then the social component.
My favorite type of client to work with are those suffering from substance abuse disorders, codependency, and relationship issues. I love to use IFS, which stands for Internal Family Systems, and EMDR. And I love looking at clients from an attachment perspective because, we're wired for connection. God made us in relationship. And there's something about the relationship between the client and the counselor. It's magical.
Janet Hodges. I'm a licensed professional counselor and a certified professional counselor supervisor, helping new counselors move through the licensure process. I love working with clients who are trying to figure out who they are, why they do what they do, and how to stop doing the things they don't want to do. I like to use EMDR, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. Sounds very complicated, but it really isn't. Eye movement can be done by just tracking fingers or by tapping to begin to process the memories that we have that cause us to experience trauma. We allow the brain then to do its part, to just notice what it's feeling, and it will naturally move in our brain to a place where we can then reprocess it and make sense out of it.
I love working with young adults and also with women. I love working with women because I think, generally speaking, they spend so much time and energy taking care of everybody around them, and entering the therapy room, they get to be taken care of maybe for the first time in their life. They get to really be seen and be taken care of in the deep places where they need to be seen and cared for.
It is so nice to have met you. Thank you for spending a little bit of time with us. We're so glad that we got to share a bit about who we are. If you feel like now is a good time to get started in therapy and you feel like you'd like to give us a try, please do. Reach out anytime and let's get started.